Let's see. What have I got for today to reply to? What videos can I do? Let's have a look. I see. Oh, hello. What's this?
And before I elaborate on what I mean by this title of the video, which seems quite shocking, let me introduce you to my partner in this video. Allow me to introduce you to a metaphor. Well, no, it's not a metaphor, it's a chessboard, but for the purpose of the video, it is a metaphor.
What the fuck is this?
Hello everyone, this is ChavvyMan90. Ugh! Damn it, I can't see a thing in this.
Metaphor for patriarchy.
You what, mate?
Now, what do I mean when I say it's a metaphor for patriarchy?
Oh yes, of course, dear. What do you mean by a metaphor for patriarchy? What do you mean, darling?
Well, we have the different members of patriarchy. The chauvinist, the misogynist, basically the same thing, but just different words for it.
And why did you make them separate characters, my dear? That's a bit counterproductive, is it not, dear? Oh, my.
Extremist religious oppression.
Which oppresses men too, but of course, it's all patriarchy at the end of the day, isn't it, love? Oh, darling, if only you knew. The
traditionalist homemaker and wife supporter and expects his dinner to be on the table at home.
Ah yes, the old proletariat who has been forced by the society in which he lives in to be the provider, while the woman is forced to be the mother who makes the dinner. But of course, it's not always like that, is it? I mean, some families, when the father comes home, might make the tea together, but no, the good old working man, the salt of the earth, he is a member of the patriarchy regardless, because as we know, darlings and my fellow shitlords, that all men are part of the patriarchy oppressing women, even when they are forced to be the provider and not be a nurturer.
Wolf whistler, who tends to have his bum out.
You what, mate? I don't know what a wolf whistler is. What, do you mean Lon Chaney Jr.? I don't know. What is a wolf whistler with his bum out? That doesn't even make sense, girl. I've dropped my character just for that one thing that makes no sense. And all this shit is apparently patriarchy, metaphorically represented by a chessboard. Brilliant. I'd love to see how you devise strategy in that game.
And these, which come in quite a great quantity, are the many perverts that we have in society.
Oh dear, did you not realise that the pawn represents the common soldiery? The peasants, the man-at-arms. So what you're basically saying is that all normal working-class men, apart from the providers and those who can't really afford to be full-time fathers, are perverts. We're all perverts, as if having our own fetishes and likes and dislikes towards women and men, if you are of that persuasion, of course, is wrong. It's perverted. Being a man, a working class man, is perverted. Oh, darling, the inherent classism within your voice, within your words, is just typical of your landed gentry types.
The patriarchy, to me, it's like a chessboard that has been set up by a man. There it is. The pieces are in place. But like chess, it requires two players. Man on one side, woman on the other side.
Us and them. All the gaps of the music, people. Use your imagination if you've heard the song. So basically, this is what it comes down to, eh, girl? It all comes down to divide and conquer. Men and women are on opposing sides. We have to fight each other until one wins and the other loses and one becomes dominant, which has probably already happened. But that is what you're basically saying, that life, the relationship between the sexes, is basically one big battle, one big war. Is that what you're saying? If so, that is ridiculous. That is borderline retarded.
My argument is that sexism, like most things, requires two players to play this game.
Oh yes, dear, it certainly does take two to tango, but not in the way that you think it does.
And if the women didn't move their pieces, patriarchy would not be a game in motion.
Love's got the world in motion, and I can't believe it's true. Oh, sorry, are we talking about divide and conquer and not the unifying force that is New Order in football? Okay, sorry, I don't know what you mean. Women are moving, patriarchy is now in motion. This is new. This is new. This is quite quirky, but it's still stupid.
It'd be a one-sided game, but no. Women play the patriarchy game.
Whew, that makes me breeches quiver. Oh, that saucy girl.
What do I mean by this? I'm not saying that women are to blame, but I'm saying
That they're to blame?
we don't really do ourselves many favours.
So women are to blame?
For example, this.
Oh my.
You know, you have women who are on these posters that have been openly objectified.
I'm sorry, but they agreed to do this work. They knew exactly what the work required. They are doing this out of their own volition and agency, and they choose to look sexy. They choose to look nice to sell this product. And men do it too, but that's inconvenient for you. All this shit is inconvenient. No, women don't do this because they love it, or it's their job, or because it's their own choice. No, women do it because men force them to, because the patriarchy demands sexy women to sell shit. I mean, what the hell are we thinking about? We're all collectivized generalizations, people. It's totally objectification, even if the women are playing a part in it. This is what I mean by she's blaming women, even though she's not, but she is. Oh.
And because sex sells, we therefore put women in these positions for advertising, because we want to sell things, because that's how the system works, and in patriarchy, sex sells on both sides of the coin.
Well, at least you admitted that yes, women do like sex, and women do buy things that look sexy. I mean, that's why we have male models with nice big muscles, or if they don't have muscles, they're very lean, they look very smart, they have nice hair and eyes and facial hair maybe. That's not necessarily required, but it is a bonus. This is why we have all these things. Because remember, sex sells, people, but it's totally patriarchy that's doing it, and not the fact that women are human and men are human, and this is just how humans work. No, it's all society's fault. Remember that. It's patriarchy.
Even if we say 100% accurately that we knew all the facts, that the man pitched this post to be made, a man took the photo, a man published the photo, the woman still allowed it to happen.
Oh yes, she certainly did decide to do it. She has freedom of choice, but you're assuming that it's men who make these advertisements. How do you know that? How do you know that men are the ones making this shit? You don't know that. What if it's a woman's product? You do realise that when Chanel uses very beautiful models of both sexes, it was a woman who started that company, right? And she chose, back in the day, not now, I mean she's dead, to use said models to advertise her products, which has been done for many years and generations now. Do you think she is a member of the patriarchy? You know, Chanel, Coco Chanel? Just wondering. There's loads of silly companies that make silly products and use silly means to advertise it, and sex is one of those things.
There was a woman here that said, yes, I will take this photo in this position and I will do what you say.
Oh yes, she certainly did decide to do it. She has freedom of choice, but you're assuming that it's men who make these advertisements. How do you know that? How do you know that men are the ones making this shit? You don't know that. What if it's a woman's product? You do realise that when Chanel uses very beautiful models of both sexes, it was a woman who started that company, right? And she chose, back in the day, not now, I mean she's dead, to use said models to advertise her products, which has been done for many years and generations now. Do you think she is a member of the patriarchy? You know, Chanel, Coco Chanel? Just wondering. There's loads of silly companies that make silly products and use silly means to advertise it, and sex is one of those things.
If every single woman didn't play the patriarchy game, the game wouldn't play.
But patriarchy doesn't exist. Nobody is playing this game. This ain't Game of Thrones, motherfucker. This is not real. None of it is real. It's all made up. The world is not a game. The world is a serious business. Most of the time. But there are some unserious moments where we can all have fun and relax. And you guys want to just ruin all that shit. Because apparently the world is just a place where we divide and conquer and patriarchy's everywhere, blah 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 blah. You're just now just trying to flip the argument and say, oh, women are at fault too. They're, I don't know, collaborators.
There wouldn't be a game in motion. We have one side pushing the idea.
Oh, body positivity. Oh, being a healthy human being is now apparently part of patriarchy. Wow. Well played, good lady. Ooh, body positivity. Oh, yeah, being a healthy human being is now apparently part of patriarchy. Wow. Well played, good lady. Ooh, body positivity. Oh, yeah, being a healthy human being is now apparently part of patriarchy. Wow. Well played, good lady. Ooh, body positivity. Oh, yeah, being a healthy human being is now apparently part of patriarchy. Wow. Well played, good lady. Ooh, body positivity. Oh, yeah, being a healthy human being is now apparently part of patriarchy. Wow. Well played, good lady. Ooh, body positivity.
Another example that I can give in this situation is that when I see magazines about weight loss and negative body image.
Ooh, body positivity. Oh, yeah, being a healthy human being is now apparently part of patriarchy. Wow. Well played, good lady.
Slating women and men for their body image.
They are weight loss magazines. They are designed and written for people who want to lose weight or who want to keep a nice figure, and they're relying on these magazines to give them tips and ideas and foods that could help them and other stuff like steroids or whatever, protein world kind of stuff. They do not slate you, they do not shame you at all. In fact, they make these magazines because they have a love for the human figure. And also, let's be honest, okay? It's not healthy being fat, and this body positivity bullshit is going to expound our obesity problem in the Western world. But patriarchy, that's why.
The majority of these degrading articles.
Citation needed on these degrading articles of which you speak of, girl. Because as far as I'm aware, these people are not trying to degrade anyone. They are simply offering help and tips on how to lose weight. It would not make perfect business sense to degrade their audience. That's stupid. That is highly stupid. All this body positivity bullshit is just you guys trying to find a civil rights movement where there is none. There is no civil rights movement for fat people. Their rights are not being infringed just because they get their fifis hurt by people who look better than them. Just by looking better than them. They might not even say anything and their fifis are hurt. Just look at all these fat feminists. Seriously.
About women, or degrading articles in general about body image and things like that, which affect women on a larger percentage. Men are affected by these as well.
This is all assertions, girl, and I will dismiss this because you did not provide any evidence. How do you know that these affect women more than men, yet you have to add it affects men too? That doesn't make your argument any better. Just because you're adding men, that doesn't make you any more anti-male than it does any other feminist who chooses not to put that adage in. You are literally just asserting here there is no weight at all to your argument. You have no idea if these articles degrade people or not. I don't even think you read them. Otherwise, you are providing examples to me right now about degrading articles which are designed to help people lose weight for a good reason. And if they do degrade people, I don't know. What if that's needed? Maybe. What if somebody does need a bit of a stiff, push? Because not everyone can be persuaded diplomatically. Just saying, okay? None of this makes sense. What has this got to do with patriarchy? And what has this got to do with the title of the video?
These articles tend to be, on the large majority, written by women.
Oh my! A twist in the story! Oh my goodness. These girls couldn't possibly be suffering from internalized mahogany, could they? Ooh.
And I think why? Why are women going out of their way to put other women down?
Again, citation needed. How are these girls putting these big fat women down exactly? This is who you're referring to. You're referring to fat people. You're not referring to people with a little bit of meat on them. No, you mean fat people. Obese people. I'm sorry, but the only people here who are getting themselves down here is them. They're getting themselves down. I know I repeat myself there, but look, these people are taking offence. It is not given to them. If it is true that most of these authors are women, then that completely destroys your argument that it's patriarchy then. But of course, you're going to try and find a way to make it about patriarchy, aren't you? But the fact of the matter is, if these women are insecure about their weight, Why are they getting offended then? Maybe they should do something about it. But I think that's feminism. No, it's not feminism. No, it's clearly patriarchy.
In a patriarchal society, women are expected to look a certain way.
Even in a bloody matriarchal society, they're expected to look a certain way. In society in general, all the societies that have ever been created, men and women, are meant to look a certain way due to the societal beliefs and pressures that society has. It is not a patriarchal society that is the reason for this, and it's not the only type of society that has these things. Plus, we don't even live in a patriarchal society anyway. If we did, wouldn't men not be 90% of the homeless? Wouldn't men not be going off to fight the wars while women stay behind and do non-combatant roles? I'm just wondering.
But then the women write the articles telling women to look a certain way, so we're basically our own enemy.
Yeah, men don't tell women how to dress a certain way. It's always women. Always. Always women telling other women. That's just how life works, girl. How does this not make sense to you? This isn't the patriarchy. This is women. Women doing it to other women because that's what women do. And men also do it to other men. One man might say, dude, you look a bit silly in that tie. Or maybe not mention it at all in embarrassment and then say, well, maybe people are laughing because of the tie, you know? That's what it's like. This has nothing to do with patriarchy. This is how people think. This is how their minds work. It's natural and there's nothing you can do about it.
And majority of the time we work with patriarchy.
No, you do not work with patriarchy. You do not work with men to put down other women. Women just like to put down other women because some women are cunts, just like some men work with other men to put other men down because they're cunts. Face it, girl, people like you, cunts, exist in the world, and there's not a damn thing you can do about it, because they're always going to exist until the bloody sun explodes and we're nothing more than specks of dust, pretty much.
We play the patriarchal game.
There is no game, you're just cunts to each other. God damn it. There is no need for this bullshit identity politics feminist explanation for women being cunts. Hell, there's no need for it for men being cunts either. It's perfectly explained in rational, logical, scientific terms. Cunts. That's all you need to know. People are cunts. That's enough, okay? Repeat after me. People are cunts.
And why do we play this patriarchal game? Well, sometimes I would say it's money. Because when I was discussing this topic with my mother the other day, my mom said to me, well, if somebody said to you, here's 50 grand, pose like that, I stopped. And I honestly couldn't tell if I would say no.
Oh, well, no shit, they do it for money. That's their job. They're models. They're paid models. They expect to get paid money for this shit. That's... duh! That's what we do. We're in a capitalist society. We all do this shit for money. That's how it rolls, girl. Jesus Christ. It's not because they're collaborating to somehow objectify, destroy and oppress women. They're doing it because they're professional models. There is no ulterior motive. They're just models doing a job. And they like doing that job. They like being sexy people. Doing sexy jobs. That is their job. And there's nothing wrong with that. Just because you're not a very attractive girl doesn't mean that people are trying to oppress you because they're good looking and they want the money. Jesus Christ, you're making all these women look like mercenaries. Oh my god. And yes, I know we're talking about authors as well. That's their job, and they also expect to get paid. They're journalists. They're not doing this for free.
And that's really quite depressing.
The fact that you're a bit of a hypocrite and you would also do this for £50,000? I would do that for £50,000 because I don't believe in objectification and I'm making a free choice to let some makeup artist make me look the sexiest I have ever been, to put on a nice good suit because, you know, I don't have the physique to be a half nude or fully nude model, and do a makeup commercial or some kind of, you know, maybe just I am advertising the suit maybe. I would love to do that for money. But I can't do it because I don't meet the requirements, I'm not tall enough, and maybe I'm just not what they're looking for in the looks department. I don't mind that. I don't mind that at all. I don't particularly want to be a model anyway, but I would definitely do it. And you don't like the fact that reality is depressing and the fact that you would also do it if you were good looking enough to do it and could make $50,000. Just admit it.
So yes, that's probably a reason why women play the patriarchal game. But also I noticed that with culture in general, women tend to be quite nasty enemies against themselves.
You don't need to have a PhD in gender studies to work that shit out.
I know personally from being a woman and having to train myself not to be this way anymore.
She has to train herself to not be a normal human being. She has to train herself to be this thing that stands before me while she's sitting down, obviously. She has to train. It's kind of like how Lacey Green had to just take a break every now and then so she can watch some TV show. Seriously, guys. Really?
Because I kind of grew up in a woman's environment and I pick up that women do this. When we see something inferior, we like to magnify it in another woman. I have a theory. I'm not saying it's right. It's my own personal theory. But I think that when a girl puts a lot of effort into her looks, it's not always to attract the attention of the sex in which she finds attractive, be it male or female. A lot of the time, girls put a lot of effort into their looks to make other women feel inferior.
Yes! Yes! I can't believe it! She actually said something rational! A feminist! She said something rational! Oh my god! Oh my days! I cannot believe it! Amazing! She actually said something that actually makes sense! But of course, there's always some things that simply have to be explained to her a little bit and have to be corrected, sadly, and it's not every woman. You made it look like all women do that, when that's not the case, girl. It's just certain people. But well done! It's not a theory. It's true, in some cases.
Or to feel superior to other women.
Yes, please. Do keep being rational. But then again, what's the point? Because then there'll be no material left for this video.
Women, I find, have this mentality in which we zone in on our fellow women and we tend to judge them in a negative light in order to make ourselves feel slightly better.
And that's exactly what you've been doing in this video to those women who you think are like, you know, collaborators with the patriarchy. You've been doing that to make you feel like a good feminist. Don't deny it.
Say a woman walked past who had better hair, better legs, a better sense of dress. We zone in on that and suddenly twist it round, and rather than think it's the compliment to the girl, we tend to think, well, at least I don't have that cellulite. Or she's fatter than me, her hips are wider than me, her boobs are smaller than mine, her hair's not as nice a colour as mine. Our instant thought is to go into this negative perception, and I have spent years trying to battle this nasty trait out of me, and hopefully I don't think that way anymore. When I see something that I like on a woman, like her hair or her dress, and I actually approach them a lot of the time and say, I love your hair, and I go out my way to do that to counteract the negative thoughts that have been ingrained, I swear, in my DNA, to try and look for the negative points of another woman.
But therein lies your problem. It's all fake. That's what you seem to be implying. That you've trained yourself to not think the way a normal woman thinks. Or at least a cunty normal woman. Because I don't really think a lot of women really have time to think about that. Really. Some may do that, but that's because they're insecure little cunts. That's why. And there may be some men who do that too. I don't know. But that's besides the point. But you've replaced it with, you know, outward appearances with what's in your mind. So now you simply see what somebody spouts ideologically and you then judge someone negatively based on that. And that is exactly what you have done in regards to your feminism. And I'm sorry, but you can't just substitute one and hope that you're a better person when you substitute it with the exact same thing, only slightly different in regards to what you're judging someone on. Besides, even then, I wouldn't say you completely trained out this negative thing that is apparently ingrained in your DNA, which to an extent it could be, but you also seem to apply that to like a patriarchy thing when it's not. It's just how women work. You seem to think that all these models are forced slaves who are collaborators with the patriarchy. They're only in it for the money. They're attacking and degrading and, you know, horrible to women because of this. And I think you said all this shit, and at the end of the day, it all comes down to naught because of what you said earlier. You just contradicted yourself massively there.
Get a kick out of seeing the negative side of another female.
Because they're insecure cunts, there's no feminist issue to be made out of this.
Because we almost want to make ourselves feel better and think the patriarchal society has made us feel so low that we've actually turned into patriarchs ourselves.
Oh, just when I thought you were beginning to see the light, you've gone back to the dark side. No, 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 no. It has nothing to do with men. And men have not done this to women. This is women thinking like women and passing it down to their daughters. This is women, not men. Okay? The patriarchy doesn't exist, didn't do this shit. Women do this because some women are cunts and they're insecure, and to make themselves feel better, they bully other women, or they think negatively about other women, or they say negative things about other women. Men do it too, to a lesser extent, in a different way. It's a bit different, but there's some kind of similarity there. But we don't do it as often for some reason. I don't know why, I can't explain it. I'm not a psychologist. But this is not because of the patriarchy. This is because whatever works in your head works that way, and you express that insecurity as passive aggressiveness, and that's what you do. There's nothing you can do. You can't change that anytime soon. It's an evolutionary trait, and you're stuck with it. Sorry.
To try and make ourselves feel better, and this is bizarre.
It's not bizarre if you know how humans work. Hell, I've got Asperger's and I know how this fucking works, girl. Come on.
This is bizarre. And then from this patriarchal society, we also have women who then try and claim themselves to be feminists, but are actually just sexist.
Oh, that be me, the not true Scotsman. What are you doing here? Go away. Nah, mate. I ain't going nowhere. They talked about me, the not true Scotsman. Piss off, or I will literally nuke Scotland. That's where the nukes are, you stupid English bastard. Whatever, seriously, I will steal your porridge, and I will not give it you back until you leave. Oh, okay. Okay, where was I? Ah, yes, of course. The patriarchy again did not create this bullshit. They did not create these women. These women were born that way. Or maybe life experiences shaped them to be that way. But the patriarchy didn't do shit. This is how women think. At least some women think. And you can't change that. No amount of excuses from you will excuse women's cunty behaviour, okay? You cannot use patriarchy to justify that bullshit or to explain that bullshit. It's just how you roll.
I'm not going to mention the person, but
Is her name Strawman by any chance?
I overheard somebody saying that if you were a feminist like them, you would take out your aggression by smashing up a banana. And I thought, that's not feminist, that's sexist.
No, that's just a no true Scotsman fallacy, and you just disagree with her. That's why you think it's not feminism, and really it probably is feminism. I mean, to be honest, a lot of you do think that way. A lot of you are quite anti-male, and a lot of you are probably taking the piss out of said anti-maleness. I don't even know what type of feminist this woman is, apart from maybe a straw man feminist.
What are you saying that for? If a man went on a video, oh, if you're a man like me,
You're not a man. What are you on about?
and you want to take your frustration out on women, then smash these watermelons up and take out your frustration.
Well, it's a lot better than actually attacking someone now, isn't it? And it's just a shame that some feminists who are out there protesting and get a little bit worked up can't heed that little bit of advice of smashing up a banana now, can they? What do you want us to do, us men? Do you want us to go around hurting people if we're frustrated? Or what do you want to do about those feminists? Do you want them to go around hurting people? You know, like Valo Solanas. She could have just gone and shot up a couple of boards on a shooting range. She could have put a picture of Andy Warhol on said shooting board and shot it there, and the frustration could have gone. She could have shot some watermelons, but no. Instead, she went and shot Warhol and another guy, nearly killing them both. So, what do you want it to be then? Besides, I've never heard anyone say that. This is just a straw man at this point.
That would be seen as quite aggressive sexism.
Yes, it would, indeed. But nobody's really said that, though, have they? I've never heard anyone say that. But I answered the question regardless, even if it is a straw man, because I'm nice.
But because a woman can say it against a man under the name of feminist, it's okay. It's not okay. I don't understand this game.
She's alright. She's got a point there.
Fellow women, like me, stopped playing the game.
So apart from no true Scotsmaning, straw manning, etc., you want all these girls to stop playing the game. It's time to play the game! No, Lemmy, it's not time to play the game, you say to Lemmy. So, this is just you shaming other feminists, if they are even feminists. I don't even know at this point. This is a straw man. You seem to be blaming normal, everyday female behaviour on the patriarchy. You're like Jermaine Gray, who just blames all the things that women do to each other on men, because apparently dads are the ones who are teaching women to hate other women, which is silly, because that's not what dads do. But never mind. Whatever, it's the patriarchy, innit, bruv?
Would patriarchy still continue?
It doesn't even exist anyway, so no, it wouldn't bother. It doesn't even... Fucking hell, whatever.
Every single woman refused to pose for this oppressive, sexualised, objectified images that we see.
They don't see anything wrong with it because they're not an insecure feminist like you are. They see it as just a fact of life that there are models out there who are prettier than them, and they don't care because, hey, they would like to be that one day. They believe that they could still be like that, or they just don't give a shit and will buy the product regardless because maybe they're already a fan, or they need it. So, please, there's nothing wrong with this stuff. It's not objectifying, it's not sexualizing, it's used for a purpose to advertise. And as you said, it happens to men too, doesn't it? These people are doing it out of their own free will, out of their own free choice, they know exactly what they're going in for, and they don't consider it sexist or objectifying or oppressive as you think it is. It's just advertising. It's just a job. Are you like this when it comes to prostitutes and porn sex workers, etc., porn actresses or porn actors? Are you a swerve by any chance?
They wouldn't exist.
But they would exist regardless because women want to be in these professions and men want to be in these professions. Are you going to take away their free choice and give them a pointless career in an office somewhere? Is that what you're going to do?
If women stopped writing these articles and magazines about, look at her, she's put on weight, look how fast she lost her baby fat, look how fast she didn't lose her baby fat, oh, she's got pregnant again to cover her baby fat. If we stopped writing these articles, then only men would write those articles.
That's the stupidest thing I've ever heard because men don't write those articles. That's not what men are interested in writing about. Men do not write those things. Not even gay men write those things. They just don't. They don't write those things. Men in celebrity magazines write about different things to what women write in magazines. Women write about those things because women are interested in those things. This is not a patriarchy thing. This is the stupidest thing I've ever heard. Men do not write that shit. They just do not. I have never read any of that bullshit and seen a man's bloody name next to it. Why would a man do that? They have the freedom of choice to not do it. And they don't do it. It's bullshit, girl, and you bloody know it. It just sounds like to me you want to get rid of women's freedom of choice in order to save them from this mythical patriarchy. What are you? A sexist? Because that's sexist, taking a woman's freedom of choice to do whatever she wants to do. I thought that's what you feminists were interested in, but apparently not.
And then they wouldn't carry any weight.
But this is all happening in your head, in an imagined reality that doesn't exist. So it would not happen at all. This would be pointless. Men don't write that shit. So
the game would be really obvious, but the game's kind of blurred because both people are playing the pieces. They're playing them. Women are playing them against themselves and men are playing them against women, and it's just this colossal game, and patriarchy wouldn't be played if both people didn't play the game. This is my frustration. Women, oh my goodness, stop hating each other. Also, stop defining me as a woman. I'm sick of women defining themselves by their sex. I'm not a woman by choice. I am not a woman by accomplishment. I am just a woman.
I've broken her without even doing anything. I could respond to those points. You know, men aren't playing women against each other and women against women. It's just life. It's how people are. She goes crazy. Now that I am kind of and a little bit calmer, the bit at the end, nobody's anything through choice. Well, some things are through choice, of course, but in regards to being born certain ways, hell no. But you can't just say, don't call me a woman because I didn't choose to be one. Well, then saying, I am just a woman is a contradiction. Just saying. You sounded a bit silly there.
And that just happens to be the most insignificant part of my personality. I'd much rather be identified by something else, like my bibliophilia, or my academia, or perhaps even my personality. You know, I'd much rather be identified by something else other than my sex.
Well then, come to the dark side and be against identity politics, and then that will mean absolutely nothing, girl. Just saying. Well then, come to the dark side and be against identity politics, and then that will mean absolutely nothing, girl. Just saying.
And I think women need to stop talking about being women all the time, and I think women need to stop also then playing the patriarchy game and then complain that it still exists when they play the game and they read the articles and they buy the magazines and they write the magazines and they write them, and oh my goodness, my frustration is going over the top.
And I'm afraid to say, but it's feminism that's making them do that. So you might want to rethink your strategy there a bit. If you want to calm down, I will be here. I will have a nice cup of tea and some biscuits, and we can all just watch some Star Wars or something. Whatever you want, I don't care. Just relax. Let the identity politics go. Luminous beings are we, full of the Force and lovely stuff. Whatever, people, I'm just trying to joke around here. This is glorious. I don't have to say anything. She defeats herself.
Somebody is going to say that I've been sexist along this line. Somebody's going to say that I've been unfeminist along the line somewhere. Someone's going to say that I've done something wrong somewhere. I just wanted to rant.
Yes, let the hatred flow through you. Let the rage take over you. It gives you power. It makes you strong. Strike them down. Do it.
Because I think it's an equal game.
I don't think so. That's not how you described it.
Please take away from this video that I did not mean to offend in any way.
Oh, I don't need a trigger warning. Just a road to your heart.
I don't want anything to be sexist anymore. I'm tired of women being sexist. I'm tired of men being sexist.
Well, if you're tired of it, try and help women stop being sexist towards men, and maybe we'll get somewhere. I'm just wondering. Did anyone mention that you look really nice when you're calming down from an epic rant? Just saying.
I'm tired of people putting people down all the time. I'm tired of people being nasty to each other. I just want people to be equalists.
Well, there are equalists and egalitarians in the world, like me, but you stop us from being that because we have to be feminists, because apparently all that shit is under feminism, and it's clearly not. I think you're having a crisis of conscience here. I think you might need to have a chat. Please, if you ever see this video, feel free to give me a message.
Just be nice. Don't think negative thoughts about other people.
Also, don't ascribe to ideologies that promote said negative things about people, and maybe the world might be a better place.
And the main thing is, don't think negative thoughts of yourself.
Most definitely, I agree. But sadly, a lot of people are insecure, and it's all about channeling that insecurity and turning it into something positive. But sadly, a lot of people choose to do something a little bit more negative, and you've done that in this video. But it seems to me as if you're reaching a moment of clarity here. I think I'll let you go on for a bit longer.
Because that just spurs negative thoughts for other people, because to make yourself feel good, you then think negative thoughts of other people to try and push yourself up. Just think nice about yourself and you will think nicely of other people.
Also, think of the golden rule. I know it's religious, but it does ring true. Do unto others as you would have them do unto you. I think that also helps create a better world. And let me just say this. Stop thinking that all these problems are created by men, because a lot of it isn't. A lot of it is men against men, women against women, and just humans being humans. Conflict is inherent within us, and it's our jobs to try and limit that amount to just something petty, and not blame it on stupid make-believe stuff. I hope eventually that you realise that, because you seem to be someone who has their head a little tiny bit screwed on, and it just needs a little bit more tightening. Again, message me, call me. I'm always available for a chat.
Sorted. Where's that magazine? Where's the magazine about let's think nice about ourselves rather than think nastily about other people?
Well, positive and good news doesn't sell. That's the nature of reality, girl. Welcome to the real world. But hey, if you chat with me, I can always bring about some good news if you want.
You know what the saddest part about living alone is that I can have a chess set and I've got no one to play with. I used to be on a chess team at school.
And I used to be on the debating team and the 100 metres runners team at school and college, so I've got no one to race and no one to talk with, because I don't really live on my own, but I'm the only guy in this house, so we've got something in common there, sort of. Also, you can beat me at chess, I can beat you at debating and running, and we can have a nice little friendship. How about that? Hey, again, call me, we can have a hangout.
This is like a modernist jet set, you know, king, phallic, pointy queen.
She's got a saucy sense of humour. I like this girl.
Nipple.
Well, doesn't that just prove that we're all pretty much similar in nature? Hey people. Until next time, and to quote Raging Golden Eagle, thanks for listening.